Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. Sam Shad has a couple of days off, although through the magic of electronics, you may see him pop up now and then this week. Today, we're going to talk to Greg Ferraro, president of R&R Partners. We're going to talk about lobbying and abuse of power by the lawmakers, advertising, and a number of other things. Stay with us, it's all coming up. And on the pundit panel, we have Bob Crowell, Chris Wicker, John Gwaltney, and Daryl Capurro, all on the new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Catch a straight, dine at 8. Lucky you. Lucky you. Dance till 1. Have some fun. Lucky you. Lucky you. Taste the shrimp. Have a sip. Try the pool. Play it cool. At the Sienna Hotel Spa Casino. Lucky you.
The biggest risk your company can take.
Well, Barbara, you did very well on your interview.
Hiring employees can help your business get to the next level.
And your resume looks outstanding.
And it can also expose you to corporate crimes and costly lawsuits that can bring your company to its knees.
So, we'd like to offer you a position.
Before you hire another employee, hire the professionals at Employer Links. Call today to get our free CD-ROM, the top 8 risks of hiring employees.
If you own a business and want to maximize your company's potential, join the Retail Association of Nevada. Our membership benefits include the Nevada Retail Network Self-Insured Group, providing workers' compensation coverage that can lower your rates. That savings can go directly to your bottom line. We are an effective pro-business organization that lobbies on behalf of our business members. The Retail Association of Nevada, protecting Nevada businesses for 35 years. Call 882-1700 to see what we can do for your organization.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad, political analyst Ande Engleman on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the News 4 Broadcast Center, here's Sam Shad.
Clearly, I'm not Sam Shad. Today's guest, Greg Ferraro, is Vice President of Government Affairs for R&R Partners. As such, he deals with politics at the federal, state, and even local level. Greg, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
All right, let's start, though, on advertising. Okay. R&R's been on national television lately. Billy Vasiliadis has been on defending an ad campaign that you have going in Las Vegas.
Well, I don't necessarily consider it defending. I think the context of those 2 national programs was what's happening in Las Vegas in general. I think there was trying to create a nexus between Las Vegas's marketing campaign, which has been up now for 6 months or more, parenthetically has won many, many awards, and is probably the most talked about campaign working in America right now.
Yeah, that's the campaign that's called What Happens Here Stays Here.
That's the theme of the campaign, and clearly it's an appeal for people to come to Las Vegas and experience Las Vegas and let it be whatever they want it to be.
Well, I saw some of the ads, and clearly the inference is that there are very attractive women in Las Vegas, and they're very attractive male visitors, let me say, and that they might find each other while
perhaps
they're visiting.
just imagine. I mean, go figure. I mean, it's Las Vegas.
Well, and so is it saying anything new about Las Vegas than what we've already known for years?
I think it's appealing to people's need to get away, to go to Las Vegas, have some fun, and escape from their day-to-day lives, and what happens here stays here is an appeal to people to come and have fun and let their hair down and not have any worries.
And the whole idea, though it hasn't increased sin in Las Vegas, so to speak, there's one inference that maybe there's more prostitution now because of these ads.
Yeah, I don't think you could create any explanation that say these ads contribute to the rise in prostitution. You have to remember that Las Vegas has grown exponentially, and along with that growth come other issues, and these are not new issues. I think every sheriff since about 1970 has had to contend with the skin trade, and right now in Las Vegas, and 10 years ago in Las Vegas, and 20 years ago in Las Vegas, you have to deal with those issues. And for your viewers that need to know that prostitution is illegal in Clark County as well as in Washoe County. I think the authorities have done a good job to curtail and contain that, but I mean, it is the world's oldest profession, and you know, it's going to be there whether we like it or not.
Of course, that's such a natural segue into politics, but I want to ask you another question first.
Well, sometimes the result's the same.
But first I want to ask you about comparing the advertising in Las Vegas to the advertising for Reno.
Well, I don't know that it's a fair comparison because the budgets are dramatically different. And you have so many more rooms contributing to the budget. These campaigns are financed in large part by room taxes. And so you have 127,000 rooms in Las Vegas that are the engine that create that budget. You don't have a comparison or a comparable room night exchange going on in Reno. And so I think the Reno team has done a good job with the means that they have. I think they've done a good job in trying to broaden the invitation so that it's something that's regional and it's event driven, and there are so many things to do, and the Four Seasons are so unique in this market. Las Vegas's campaign, I mean, let's face it, it's the international entertainment mecca for the world, and it has a worldly international appeal. So the comparisons are probably not fair.
Well, is there anything, and I know you don't do the advertising for Reno, and we're not criticizing it, that's not the purpose of this.
No, I think they're doing a good job with what they have.
Is there anything different that you would do, for instance?
Oh, I don't think so. I think you've got some good experts that are involved in trying again to broaden the invitation and expose this region to people that otherwise might not come. And they have so much to work with, and I think they know what they have, and I think they've done a good job in transitioning away from a direct gaming invitation to a regional event and outdoor invitation.
Okay, we'll continue to talk to Greg about politics after a break, but also if you want to see those ads and you haven't seen them yet, you can go up to the R&R Partners website, which is rnrpartners.com, and you can view the ads there. We'll be right back.
Experience adrenaline with Curtis Adams. Watch him defy modern science with amazing acrobatics and sexy show-stopping effects that'll make your pulse race. Adrenaline. It's a new kind of magic. One night only, September 27th, live at the Pioneer.
Adrenaline. Curtis Adams. Magic that rocks.
It's hot.
Would you like to savor a Trento pork chop? Or maybe pasta rags with grilled chicken? Hugo's Tuscan Grill at DeAndrea is a celebration of color, flavor, and freshness. Each dish is created from natural, wholesome foods that is delicious and nutritious. Hugo's is a comfortable restaurant with breathtaking city views. If you enjoy great food and good company, visit us here at Hugo's. It's the best that dining can be. 2900 South DeAndrea Parkway in Sparks.
Welcome to Sushi Club, best sushi in town. The Sushi Club in Independence Square uses the best quality products. The sushi is dynamite, and the service is just wonderful.
The Sushi Club is bigger and better. We have 11 sushi chefs on staff, and the service is great.
All your friends will tell you that Sushi Club is the best place for the best sushi.
Come join us for lunch or dinner.
The Sushi Club, 294 East Moana Lane in the Independence Square.
Now that's great sushi.
To experience the royal cuisine of India, you need some serious magic or simply transport yourself to India Garden, right here in Reno, where you'll discover Indian specialties refined over centuries. Sikh kebab, tandoori dishes cooked in our own tandoor oven, biryani specialties, curries, fresh-baked Indian bread, over a dozen vegetarian dishes, even dishes rare to India like dosa, South Indian-style crepes. India Garden off South Virginia near Sports West. We are India.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And we're back with Greg Ferraro from R&R Partners to continue our conversation. Now we get to the politics.
The subject of
yes,
choice.
Right. First of all, let's start at the federal level. You are communications director for the Bush campaign here in Nevada. Is that correct?
I am.
Okay. You think the Bush is going to win?
I do.
All right, we're talking bad economy. We're talking war that isn't really too popular right now. We're talking a man who's sending nuclear waste here to Nevada. Is he going to win in Nevada?
I think the president connects very well with Nevadans, and I think the president's and the administration's management of what's happening in the Middle East and what's happening around the world is something that I think most Nevadans favor and will continue to support.
Okay. Let's talk about California briefly.
Okay.
You want to make a prediction who you think is going to end up winning over in California, and who do you think would be best for Nevada to have win?
Well, I don't know all the candidates, so I don't know whether Gary Coleman is going to be good for Nevada or not. But I would probably say, and this is somewhat poll-driven from the polls that were released yesterday, but it looks like Schwarzenegger is pulling away from the field. Remember, it's a two-part exercise. The first part is the recall of the current governor. The second part, the subsequent question, is the election. So I think that Davis will be recalled. I think that there's a growing trend even to see maybe that get into the 70% number. And at the same time, I think you'll see Schwarzenegger probably be 10, 15 points ahead of the next closest person. Okay. And Gary Coleman with a distant third.
Yeah, I think McClintock's got the distant third. On that poll, I looked at the details of that poll, and one of the things they did, I've talked to Don Carlson, who was supposed to be with us today but has the flu and couldn't make it. And Don Carlson's been concerned about this polling because there are no previous recalls for history to go back to for analysis, on which pollsters generally use. And on the model that the CNN used on their poll, they figured a 50% voter turnout. Now that's extraordinarily high to figure for an off-year election. That could possibly skew.
It could. Remember, polls are snapshots in time. I mean, no poll has ever been 100% accurate in every question that it asks. But again, you've got to get some type of flavor of what the voters are thinking that day. And because they're bombarded with different messages, polls will move, and polls will reflect the elasticity of a campaign. But yesterday or on Saturday, when people stopped for a moment and thought and paused and explained, that's how they viewed it. Now you've got 8 days to go. Do I think that it's coming down to Davis and Schwarzenegger? Yes. I think any self-respecting pollster would say that too. Okay.
Now let's talk about Nevada. You're a lobbyist at the legislature. We are seeing this emerging... For now, we're seeing an emerging scandal with Wendell Williams, a lawmaker from Las Vegas who has been accused, or it's alleged that he had a lobbyist hire a friend of his, and subsequently provided this friend with a jacket and had her up here at the legislature doing various and sundry things. And there's a laundry list of not turning in his campaign reports, etc. And clearly this is an abuse of power by one lawmaker. We had another one, Mark Menendo, during the session, who's alleged to have used his power to inveigle girls to go out with him. An investigation was done, and then it was all covered up. Nobody ever heard another thing. First of all, as a lobbyist, what kind of pressure do you feel when a lawmaker comes to you and asks you to do him a favor?
Well, I'll be honest. I think it depends on who the lawmaker is, number one, and it depends on the nature of the request. Many times it's a very human process, and so lots of times you're exchanging information, you're trying to assist someone in an issue or a need, and so there's always times when a lawmaker will ask for something, or you'll ask of a lawmaker something. There are lines that cannot be crossed. And once in a while, you'll see those lines crossed. And I think most people recognize that in working with a state lawmaker on a personal request, you have to use extraordinarily good judgment.
Well, what we're talking about here really is leadership as far as the Assembly is concerned. There's really nobody else that can chastise a lawmaker when they're in session, since everybody's income is derived from their votes.
I agree with that statement to a certain extent, and I disagree. Voters ultimately will determine whether that person has maintained their public trust.
Well, you know that
outside of that, it's not necessarily the leadership's position to police their own people's personal conduct. There isn't much the Speaker or his leadership team can do except take away certain privileges that are perfectly appropriate and chairmanships, as just was demonstrated. Mr. Williams, that you referred to, has been the chairman in the past of the Standing Committee on Education during this interim period, and he was removed from that. And so I think within the limited ability of leadership to police their own ranks, they can do only so much. If there are issues that stem from outside of the legislative triangle, then it has to get dealt with, and I think the Williams case is being dealt with appropriately.
Okay. We'll be right back with our pundit panel.
Before you head to Carson, take care of yourself with a visit to Tamarack Junction. Catch a hot cup of coffee and the morning news on one of our 32 TVs and enjoy the best food in South Reno. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Today's lesson, another reason to take the Gold Rush Club Card Challenge. With the Gold Rush Card, you really have 3 cards in one. Use your cash back. You still keep your comps and drawing tickets. Use your comps. You still keep your cash and drawing tickets. And with your drawing tickets, you could win thousands in cold hard cash every week. And still keep your cash back and comps. Does your club add up? Graduate to the Gold Rush Players Club. It's the smart thing to do. The Gold Dust West, south on Keystone, east on 4th.
When you sign up for Wells Fargo free checking, you get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Make your daily commute easy with breakfast or lunch at the Tamarack Junction. Enjoy daily specials, super fast service, and South Reno's freshest morning meals. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And here we are with our pundit panel, John Gwaltney, Chris Wicker, Daryl Capurro, and Bob Crowell. All right, let's pick up where Greg and I left off. You know, clearly I think what we're seeing is an abuse of power by Mark Menendo, by Wendell Williams, and we've had other lawmakers in the past that abuse their power at the legislature. A lot of you lobby at the legislature also. What do we do to curb it?
Well, I think you want to be you want to be careful about convicting these people before they're convicted. Now, I don't know the quality of the news reporting that's dealing with these people, but if it's true, and I say if it's true, then I think Greg made a good point that the Assembly leadership needs to take action, and then the voters need to take action too. And I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat, if they violate the public trust, then they should go.
Yeah, I think that the system in our country, and regardless of what system it is, the bedrock of that system is the ethics of the players and the elected officials. And when that is cast into doubt, we're all in trouble. And so I agree with what Chris said, that we need an investigation, we need to find out what it is, and then we need to either see if our laws address it, or if they don't, then take a look at the laws.
All right, we had an investigation of Mark Menendo after Don Gibbons made some allegations, and then it was all covered up, and we were told it was a personnel matter. Now, my personal feeling is there shouldn't be a personnel matter when it's an elected official.
Andy, I think the press has to assume some responsibility here. The fact of the matter is, if you're not satisfied, there are a lot of ways to ask, and to keep asking until it's clear that the answers are brought to the public. I totally agree with you that the abuse of power, if it took place, is irresponsible and certainly should be appropriately punished by the voters. But the fact of the matter is, you folks need to tell the story. And on occasion, the press jumps the gun and doesn't get the facts quite right. I'm not picking on you, but I'm picking on particularly the printed press in a number of cases. And given that situation, high levels of professionalism on your part and all of those folks out there doing that will help the voters make the right decision.
I clearly think that leadership does have a responsibility to sort of help police their own people during the legislative session. It's a difficult job, there is no question about it, and they're exposed to things that they aren't exposed to when they're 440 miles away from home. And the like. So they all need at one point in time some counseling about what is their public persona and how they should be viewed in that. But when it boils down to it, it's an individual thing for the legislator to understand that he is in the public eye and that he does have the public trust. And when he violates that trust, there's clearly a reason he should not be there.
Now these stories make good news because they're kind of notorious, but I think the real unwritten story is the following the money, the campaign contributions, I think the lobbyist money has somewhat been taken care of.
Well, all right, you bring that up. Wendell Williams has not filed his campaign report for years, and nothing much was done. He now has settled with the Secretary of State's office. He owes the state $15,000 in fines. They cut a deal with him, and he's paying it off $100 a month until the year 2016. I mean, we should get such a...
Yeah. What's the interest rate?
A nice deal. Yeah, right. There is no interest rate. And so many of these things, we're not just talking allegations. We're talking about things that have been proven that he's admitted to, and there's a laundry list of things.
Well, where was the Secretary of State's office during this? Aren't they charged with looking after the election laws?
Yes, and at the time, if you recall, Frankie Sue Del Papa was the Attorney General, and that was an argument that existed between the Secretary of State and the Attorney General, because he felt she would not go after these people with the vim and vigor that he wanted to see the law enforced. And so that's it. By the way, she has work. She's now working for Jack Daniel's Liquor Company, helping them with their government relations and their ad campaign for responsible drinking.
Well, I think there's even more at stake than this, through the lobbyists and the needs of the state. Unfortunately, we don't pay our legislators a sufficient salary. We use amateur legislators. We often require them to sacrifice substantially to be in our legislature.
Didn't they know what this money was when they run for office?
Well, John has a very good point, and I get sick to death of the people that criticize the legislators for, they're making out for themselves or they're getting richer or something like that. In Nevada, serving in the legislature is a huge sacrifice for most of those people, and the less independently wealthy are, the greater the sacrifice. And I do get sick of people criticizing legislators for kind of trying to feather their nest, when I think in reality it's a huge sacrifice.
I would also agree with John that I participated on one of the study groups that was formed several years ago to look at the salary issue with regard to the legislature. And quite frankly, they are woefully underpaid for the exposure that they have and for the job that they have to perform. Let's face it, when you're spending $6 billion or so of the state's money to pay someone less than $9,000 a year to do that.
We're running out of time. Quickly, a prediction from each of you: who's going to win in California?
Well, I think Arnold's going to win, unfortunately.
Well, I think that people bolt of lightning will strike and people will keep Gray Davis in office and realize that government by recall is not the way to go.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, I think it's a toss-up, but I think the recall fails.
You think the recall fails?
Yeah.
I understand there's already a group getting ready to recall whoever is elected governor in this thing.
Well, I know Doonesbury is.
Okay, we'll be right back after these messages.
Big Apple Pizza, best pizza in Nevada, take one.
Today we're here, we're making homemade meatballs for a meatball parm. You like cheesesteak? I think you like it South Philly right now. It's the best cheese ever made. Now that's how a Philly cheesesteak's supposed to look.
And here's Little Cole.
This is authentic. We'll throw some pepperoni in here. Not gonna be shy about it. I bet you guys didn't know I could do that. Don't skimp on the toppings. Authentic as it gets. Big Apple Pizza and Subs on the corner of Bering and McCarran. A New Jersey guy who knows how to make an East Coast pizza.
Would you like to savor a Trento pork chop? Or maybe pasta rags with grilled chicken? Hugo's Tuscan Grill at D'Andrea is a celebration of color, flavor, and freshness. Each dish is created from natural, wholesome foods that is delicious and nutritious. Hugo's is a comfortable restaurant with breathtaking city views. If you enjoy great food and good company, visit us here at Hugo's. It's the best that dining can be. 2900 South D'Andrea Parkway in Sparks.
Experience adrenaline with Curtis Adams. Watch him defy modern science with amazing acrobatics and sexy show-stopping effects that'll make your pulse race. Adrenaline. It's a new kind of magic. One night only, September 27th, live at the Pioneer.
Adrenaline. Curtis Adams. Magic that rocks.
It's hot.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
Okay, we have enough time where I can ask them one more question. I'll start with Bob Crowell this time. How do you think President Bush is going to do politically in this state?
I think that jury is out on that, because I heard what you asked, Greg, and I think that the issues of nuclear waste are going to come back. And I think that the war in Iraq is going to start hurting, and particularly when people start focusing on the issues such as our soldiers coming back and having to pay for their own food, hurts.
I think the president's going to do all right, mainly because I don't think that the competition we've seen so far has any other answers to the questions that have come up.
Well, I think if people really become educated about what the president has actually done, President Bush is going to fare badly because of what he's done with the environment, what he's done, how he manipulated people in going into the war in Iraq, what he's done to the economy, and he's just looked out for one group of people, those at the top of the echelon. So people need to find that out, and they will.
I think the president will do very well in Nevada, not because he's an excellent choice, because we're not getting much competition.
Okay. Be with us tomorrow on Nevada Newsmakers when Jim Denton co-hosts the show with me and we talk to John Smith in Las Vegas.